Hey guys, this is Matt Beck from FreeSalonEducation.com here with Phillip Wilson. And so I actually worked with you a long time ago in Atlantic City. Do you remember that big, huge show that Andre put on?
Oh my God!
Do you remember that thing? Yeah.
Oh.
So I was in the vicinity.
Emiliani's.
Yes, Emiliani. Yeah.
Awesome show.
So I got to meet you there, but I want to talk about you have had a career. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah.
So So you've done it all, and so I want to talk about where did you start your career?
Wow, let me think. Oh my God, 1970, London, South London.
In London, okay.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah,
but
so
very cool because
that was at the coolest time.
I've got to tell you, I walk around now seeing all this incredible talent of today. And I think I just hit that early 70s, so going from like the early 70s to the end of the 70s, that decade was so monumentally loaded with fashion and edge.
Yep.
How far can you go? I've no idea. Go for it.
Right.
Then when you got there, you went, did I really get here?
Right.
Crazy decade, man. But beneficial.
So and now where do you live now?
Well, I have a house in Palm Springs, and I also live on the beach in Dana Point.
Okay. So
just
good places.
Yeah. Just hanging and letting it flow.
If you could say one like big turning point in your career from when you started in the 70s, what do you think that was?
Well, I wore his T-shirt to the event last night.
Okay.
Like most people would say, Vidal.
Yeah.
But not. Let me explain that because I do so many like interviews with people about Vidal.
Right.
I did his memorial here 4 years ago with 3 very cool friends, and he was extremely instrumental in my career in the early stages. But there was another guy called Paul Garrett, who was what we call southpaw, a lefty, who was probably one of the most architectural cutters in the world at the time.
Yeah.
And him and I worked together for years. I was like his protege, bringing him to do it. That was the changing point that I realized what I could do with a blade.
Okay.
That was it. When I realized that if I can see it, feel it, even prior to that, dream it, I could execute it.
Yeah.
If you knew how to put a frame and a canvas together, you could paint the mural of your dreams. It was amazing.
Okay, so that was a big turning.
Turning point.
And that was did you study with Sassoon?
I was one of the different ones. Reason being, there was the hardcore Sassoonis, and then there was us that were sort of like on that perimeter, which was like Russell Williams, Gregor Shumi, all the Knightsbridge London boys.
Okay.
We all had Sassoon in us, but then we sort of stepped out and put your own twist to it.
Right.
There. That's the way I'm going to express it.
Okay, and then you met Paul Garrett, right?
Yeah, Paul Garrett was world champion, Italian champ. I mean, fantastic designer. I met him, and then him and we were like an underground group.
Okay.
You know, when people say about a certain level of rock or a certain level of music, we were there, but we sort of went underground a little bit and tried a few more experimental things in the world. So,
and when you say he was a champion, so we're at Naha this weekend, right? It's a competition, but
correct.
It's it is pretty much. There's not too many competitions left in the industry.
No.
But what was the competition like then?
Well, it's like the British Awards now. They're held at the Dorchester Hotel in London at the end of each year. And it's groups called 365, which means 365 days of business.
Okay.
And they put a creative spin to it, which was Stephen Way of Bond Street, Leslie Spears, Paul Garrett, Heinz Schumi, Gregor Schumi, Russell Williams. They were the cats.
Okay.
Everybody wanted to be with them.
Right.
And they challenged each other.
Okay.
There were certain parts of London, and all the corners of London, they had salons, and it was battle all the time. So when you became the British champion, that was the one you went for. Swiftly followed by the L'Oreal Gold Trophy at the Royal Albert Hall. If you got into the top 3 of that, man, you could fly. And I did it twice.
That's awesome.
And it was like it was incredible feeling to get it there.
Right.
He was the one that was that sort of like trainer. He was the one who said, if you move a little more to the left, you're going to get a far better response in your work. So you move to the left, and people would go, dude, that was so cool. What'd you think of that? And you go, oh, it came to me, and he'd be at the back going,
Isn't it funny though that like, I think when you really start thinking about haircutting that deep, like it's a whole different level of like a slight shift. Like the other day I went and bought a new driver for golf. Right.
And love golf.
Yeah. So I walk in there and I'm like, I'm slicing my shot every single time.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, I'm going to change your life.
Yep.
Just come over here.
Yep.
I know he wanted to sell me a new driver, which is fine. I got it. But I walk into the practice thing. I shoot my shot. It shows my hook, my slice.
Right.
And he goes, I just want you to twist your wrist
There it is.
a bit, and I want you to cock your shoulder back a little bit.
You hit the nail right on the head.
Nailed it.
You nailed
straight.
this one, because that's exactly. There were 5 of us that they took under their wing.
Yeah.
4 of them are no longer in the business for various reasons, and I just kept going. I thought, I'm not going to let an edge. The edge won't get blunt. There is no. Everything to me is the epitome of infinity.
Yeah.
I'll find something, and when I do, that's time for me to stop.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near that.
Yeah. Every haircut I do drives me crazy.
Oh, when people say, right, I think I've reached the end of my creative abilities as an artist, and I think this conversation I want away from so fast. That's bullshit, man. Come on. If you have that chromosome, and it's almost like it's genetic things in you, there's no limit.
Yeah.
You can, providing the wings will flap, fly forever, man.
Yeah.
No, there's no roof to our world. There's no, well, you better get ready for retirement.
Yeah.
To do what?
And
I never had a job. 44 years ago, I found a hobby. And I've made a very fabulous lifestyle.
I have a really hard time, like my wife and child are at the hotel.
Right.
And I have a really hard time saying I'm going to work right now. Like leaving them, I almost feel like I'm lying to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, respect me for going to work. And then you get outside the door and go, what work? I'm not really going to work.
This isn't really work.
Yeah. But like your age, like how old are you now?
33.
33. You're doing stuff that's amazing. 33. You're the social media, the digital world, one that my generation, you either move into or you're left behind.
Well, that's what I always talk about. If you talk about Sassoon and Paul Garrett and you, like if social media was then, right? I mean, think about that. Think about like how you could have put out what you were doing.
I don't know how
on a daily
I could
basis.
think about it then.
Yeah.
It was so. Today, I see the young, like I'm doing Beacon tomorrow.
Right.
And I stand in front of them with Larry Curtis and all our guys from Taylor Andrews, and I look at them and I think they're so beautiful. They're so pure. They're almost like that foal, this like gallop through the meadows and it becomes a stallion. And you watch it progress. But you've got to have those places. You can't just go A to Z.
Exactly.
It doesn't. I express this to everybody. Find your variables within life. And I've done it. Like if there's someone who's brilliant at one thing, I'll focus on them. Add it to my portfolio, move. Get another one. The most instrumental person in my life, other than my wife, Mary, and my son, Ross, who does Street Thug Barbers, which has now got mega social media.
Oh, that's cool.
That's my son, my oldest son, who's freaking amazing artist.
That's really cool.
He is like the purest. He's like Rembrandt with a pair of scissors.
That's
incredible
cool.
designer.
That's so cool.
And he does it on people that can't afford anything.
Okay.
They're on the streets.
Yeah.
The children that will never see a home. These are men that have made a mistake and they live on the streets probably the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
He goes there with 4 or 5 barbers and sits them all down. That's my new focus. Even at my age, my oldest son, who I absolutely worship, I see him and I think, where did that come from? It's him.
Yeah.
He's Ross Wilson.
Right.
He's not Phillip Wilson's son,
Right.
which is hard for him to wear. He is Ross Wilson, frigging amazing artist. And so much about giving back, not focused on the revenue aspect.
Yeah.
That is rare. My youngest son, my sons and my wife, when you say about you've left your wife and your son, here's one thing I'll give you advice on. Guy of my age, always put family first.
Yeah.
Never, ever put something in front of your wife and child.
Yeah.
Because that's nothing. You have nothing to substantiate. But you will find these curves in life. One of my most impressive, one other than my family, is Jim Markham.
Okay.
Iconic. He's created Sebring, Markham, ABBA, Pureology, now Colorproof, which is off the Richter scale advanced technology.
See, I thought Colorproof was yours.
No.
Okay.
He is the head of it.
Okay.
I'm his partner.
Okay.
Which is
fantastic.
Fabulous.
Right.
He has this uncanny ability, and neither one of us are young by any means, but he knows what he has. That, remember I told you there's those levels you'll go through?
Yeah.
He has that ability that he can see it. He's a technological genius. Of course, he's also iconic hairdresser.
Right.
Sinatra. I mean, come on. I
Yeah.
mean, the most powerful men in the world have sat in his chair.
Right.
Superstars. I don't mean today,
Right.
like reality talk show.
Right.
This is like Peter Lawford, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Steve McQueen.
Oh.
The cat's done
Yeah.
monumentally well. But now with Colorproof, it's his like cap.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is there are stages, but you'll find a cap, and it's a very cool one.
Yeah.
Because it's almost, this is what you might leave to the industry that you've loved all your life. With Colorproof, this guy's taken technologically advanced ingredients to a whole new level. What a way to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
It's amazing what
I
he's
really
done.
I love Colorproof. I've used a lot of the
Yep,
products.
yep.
A distributor that I was working with for a little bit carried it, and I really enjoy the products. What's going on with the company right now?
It's about to go into hyperdrive.
Yeah.
I'm glad to say that.
Yeah, that's good.
We're fully saturated North America. Now the rest of the world want on.
Okay.
And so do a lot of people that weren't around 4 years ago, saying, let's go for it. It's
Yeah.
Jim Mark, and we know it's a shoe and it's amazing and everything. Now all of a sudden everybody wants it.
Right.
It's like the super luxury category of all lines. What's going on with it? As fanatical as I am with what I do, you'll meet someone, and I would like for you to meet Jim, but he looks for ingredients that no one else sees. He was in Africa on a safari with his wife, Cheryl, and he gets out of the enclosed cage and walks over to this big tree, and all the guys there are bodyguards, checking out. They're going, what the hell is he doing? He saw this tree called the baobab tree.
Okay.
And it is like what they call the tree of life. It's an incredible story. And he studied it. And he said, but what's the tree of life? They go, well, it has the ability of immense moisturizing. The elephants rub their trunks around it at certain parts of that Africa to then get the liquid, the moisture from it, to give to the small.
Really?
Then there are these tribe women that harvest this bean. It is a very unattractive bean, but yet the components are supersonic charged. So he actually now has a great deal of the rights for it. I know, he sees stuff others don't see. Then he says, what would that be like in a shampoo, conditioner, a reconstructor, a moisturizer, replenisher, a rebuilder? All these things goes into his mind. Then he has people, when I say people, fragrance specialists from all over the world go to his house in Newport Beach, literally around this massive island, hundreds of fragrances from all over the world. He will then select from them. They all want his business because he's iconic at what he's done, as you know. Yeah. And he'll come up with things that are just ridiculous. Baobab, which is like most expensive there is, it's like 24 karat gold in your hair. And you say, how did you do that? And he'll say, well, how did you think of doing that haircut? And I go, just do it.
Yeah.
He goes, but you don't touch it. You cut with combs and brushes, and people think you're strange or weird. And I go, that's what I want them to think. Yeah. That gives me that individuality, that little niche that's a little different. He's the same guy.
That's cool.
He's my best friend. He's my partner. He's regarded by a lot of people as extremely eccentric. But then, come on.
Right.
Even your
That's the whole-
generation, even the social digital world know that eccentricity means there's a uniqueness in that human being that's not run-of-the-mill. 99.99% will walk south. He'll turn around, put his jacket on, walk north. Everybody goes, he's going the wrong way. But then the other 99% going that way going, I'm not sure he is. But by the time they turn around to hit it, his project's done.
And that's what separates people. And that's when, if like a lot of you guys out there that are watching this, when you look at you, the energy, the passion, like
Eat, sleep,
it's
and
so
drink
much
it.
more than if you want to be successful in the industry, and in a whole nother level. Not
Right.
behind the chair is one level.
Very lovely
which is
world.
a great
Very
world.
beautiful
Yeah,
lifestyle.
A lot of people have a lot of success
Absolutely.
there. Then there's a whole nother level of where people want to educate and all that. And then there's tonight, the other artistic side of
Right,
everything.
right.
And I think that, you know, you've traveled through all of them.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part?
Wow.
Or if you had to give a favorite part of, let's say,
That's a great,
you
no,
worked
that's a
behind
great
the chair,
question.
right?
I've been behind the chair many, 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 many years. Love it. And have done royalty and Blue Buds and Stars and lived on an island for 2 years doing some of the wealthiest people on the planet. That their only way to commute the islands were luxurious yachts. I used to get on with a hooded
Everybody
dryer and
wants
my
that job.
rollers and my scissors and brushes and stay on their island, private island for 2 or 3 days doing all their guests that have come in from all over the world. Oh yeah, it's been an incredible life. When I say it's been, it is.
It is.
It's not
Yeah.
been.
Right.
There's a lot more yet.
Right.
Now my objective, everyone that's in that room and viewing what you're viewing tonight,
We're sitting in front of the beacon,
right?
PBA beacon, which is all students.
All
right?
students, they're on that level of graduating. They're the future stars. When they see people on stages here, it must be understood by everybody. There is no rule or regulation to how far you want to take your career.
Yeah.
It's unlimited. Here is the limitation: what sits between your ears.
Yep.
This is your
That's very
limitation.
true, yeah.
I never ever had that. I came from very poor, humble beginnings in London, and now live a lifestyle that's very, I don't know, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you have a couple houses.
I have a couple of nice things, and I
Right.
love my cars.
And that's
but,
what it's all about.
And my clothes, and that's what it's all about. But no one must ever think they can't do something.
Right.
It's the person that says they can't do it, is they've listened to the advice of others that never did it.
Right.
I learned that as much younger than you.
Yeah.
And Paul told me, the minute you believe what someone's telling you is correct and just keep in the corner quiet and just get by, is the minute it's defeated. You're
Yeah.
defeated. You mustn't allow someone to say you can't do something. Can't doesn't, I have never had that in my entire
No.
human dictionary. CANT has never been there.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people get stuck in that comfort zone. Like,
Daily.
Yeah.
Daily.
Hairdressers all over
Yeah.
the world they just get content with what they have, and then they want, like, I think when you get to the point where you're now you want everyone else to give you what you should have.
Yes.
And you're not going to get it for yourself. I
No.
think that's when people get lost.
Yeah, they get totally lost. And when people say to me, well, how long you been doing it? And I go, well, let's see, 44 years. And they go, good grief. I go, meaning what? I mean, if it was Dali or Erte
Right.
or whoever,
Yeah.
someone said this is the age, it doesn't affect my ability to sculpt,
Right.
design, paint, cut.
Right.
These work. This very much works.
Right.
And this is as big as it's ever been.
Right.
Don't allow someone to do that. Walk away from them.
Well,
You become who you were meant to be here. You weren't brought here to
Right.
follow someone else. You were brought here to make your mark and leave your dynasty, not someone else's. That's
Right.
been my philosophy my entire life, and it hasn't served me too bad.
well, with that being said, is there anything else you want to put out there for everybody? Anything you got coming up, or
Well, I've got lots of obviously shows coming up.
Yeah. You're at
Colorproof-
almost all the shows,
Yeah,
right?
the Colorproof shows are just phenomenal. It's now gearing up. It'll be going global. I don't know. Every day is different. I really don't know.
and what's your son's Instagram? stuff?
Ross, and it's Street Thug Barbers,
Street Thug Barbers.
and
I'm
it's
gonna check that out.
in Canada right now.
Okay.
And it is probably one of the most meaningful things I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Cool.
And I've seen and met very prominent people.
Yeah.
My son surpassed them all just
Wow.
by being a human being that actually loves. The fact is that he's helping people that live in the streets.
Yeah.
And every age. And if you look on streetthugbarbers.com and you go on Facebook or Instagram, I go all over the world, and I'll be talking to some barbers, fabulous barbers, old traditional barbers.
Right.
And I'll tell you, my son does that, and Street Thug, dude, are you serious? I follow him.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's your son? I go,
Yeah.
that's him.
And that's what's cool about the times now, because I think when you look at other iconic hairdressers and their sons and family coming up through it, people kind of knew, because that's how you would grow within
Yes.
the legacy. Nowadays, you have social media. You can become your own, whatever you want, without having that
Brilliant
family.
point. Great point.
Legacy.
And he's done that.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people are following him necessarily because of your career, even though it would push
I would
him.
tell you, and I'm the first to say it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm here, he's over there. That's Phillip, that's Ross. We have the same surname. He happens to be my son.
And you get to share in a passion.
And when you hear people say how proud they are of someone, you have no idea of the pride I have for this man.
I can see it.
I eat, sleep, and drink the earth he walks on.
Wow.
Because I'd never have seen something so real in my entire life. When you stand and you put a box up and you try to look for an electrical outlet, and he plugs his clippers in, and he gets his scissors and comes out, and he's got 5 or 6 fabulous barbers, we're with you. It is the most amazing thing anyone could ever experience.
Yeah.
And really the fact he has my surname helps me a great deal.
Right, exactly.
He's helping me. So it's good. It's very good.
Awesome.
It's great.
Well, Phillip, it's so great to talk to you. Thank you to American Salon for setting up this interview. I love talking to people, especially like you, that have done so much for the industry. So thank you for that.
A lot more to go.
A lot more to come. Right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely check out American Salon and freesaloneducation.com and Colorproof and Phillip Wilson.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Hey guys, this is Matt Beck from freesaloneducation.com here with Terri Cowan, who is somebody that I've followed for a long time. And I'm not going to say long time.
Don't say long, Matt.
I'm going to say since I began my salon 7 years ago.
Okay, that's good.
I followed you.
That way they can't guess how old I am in any way.
Exactly. So you're a big part of I met you and I became aware of you through Paul Mitchell, but and I worked for Paul Mitchell for 10 years. And followed Robert Cromines very closely. And I always thought it's not necessarily you want to learn from the guy that you look up to, but you also want to look at who he learned from, right? And I know I'm not going to say he learned everything from you, but I've listened to Steve and Terri Cowan's CDs many, many times driving to those classes and teaching for Paul Mitchell, and learned. I guarantee without you, Steve, and Robert, I could not have ran my salon at 25 years old.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I want to talk about that because you did put out those CDs a while back.
Right.
And so over the last 7 years, I haven't really stayed connected with what you guys are doing. I do reference back to the CDs. What's going on with you now?
Well, a lot.
Okay.
First of all, PSC turned 33 years old.
And PSC is your distributorship.
Yes. Steve started the company in 83. We've been with Paul Mitchell since day one. We represent 4 brands. We represent Davanese since 2004 out of Italy. And in the last year, we took on 3 lines. So we're a house that only represents 5 brands.
Okay.
And the new lines that we've taken on are Ruzel, a men's line, which is a lot of fun. The guys, yes. And it's so funny, everyone knows them as the guys, right?
Oh, yeah, they're awesome.
And then we took on Flow, which we're really excited about. And then a wonderful brand called Z1 out of Italy, out of Milan. It's a milkshake and non ambition and some other brands. So we're thrilled with our mix.
Okay.
One of the things that we launched in 2015, in November actually, we put in a 300-seat theater on site at our location.
Really?
Right, with a 35-foot stage, and 7 hairdressers can be featured on this runway stage, or it could be just a runway.
Okay.
Or it can be a business venue, but it's 300 people. And I don't have to set up and tear down anymore.
Right.
Our team, we're thrilled with that because that drove us crazy. And it was a team effort. Our company, in the last 5 years, we changed locations. Our staff did the complete build out.
Okay.
Our team.
Really?
I sketched it and they built it. And then we did the theater the same way. So we have some amazing, talented team members on staff.
And so this theater is housing education from the brands that you have and all of that?
Everything.
Okay.
We're pretty much full every Monday and Tuesday. We do our advanced education for our customers.
Okay.
A lot of fee-based education there. We still do about 1,600 in-salon classes a year. The advanced education is, of course, going to focus on grooming and cutting and color formation and also updo styling, but also it's going to focus on how to service the guest and really understand what your responsibility is as a hairdresser. I mean, our number one responsibility is to create a repeat customer.
Right.
Number one.
Right.
What are the things that we have to do to ensure that they want to return and that it's definitely an experience for them? Most hairdressers are absolutely willing to go through the process of being uncomfortable with their hands, to learn how to be an expert
Right.
with their shears and their tools and so on and so forth. But you also have to realize you have to be uncomfortable with your words.
Right.
And learn how to speak as well as your hands can produce great
Right.
hair.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest questions that I get is what questions do you ask? Those things. And that's all information that I grabbed from those CDs.
We have 18 in production. We probably should do some more, but the information isn't
it's so
dated.
Good. You don't, yeah.
It's not dated.
Yeah.
And it's really, I worry about as our generations, new ones come in.
Yeah.
And the social scene of having the phones in front of us and having that be our number one priority, the ability for us to communicate and connect is been threatened.
Right.
And we're more committed to this screen and what it can say to me versus what to the human spirit.
Right.
And connecting with another individual. And as a result of that, because this job is entertainment, this job, yes, is technical as required.
Right.
But it's all about your ability to connect, have heart-to-heart conversations, create that hope and enthusiasm for that guest's new appearance or new look or whatever they need to do to feel more confident. And it's all done with words and your ability to interact.
Right.
And if you can't do that, you're going to lose.
Exactly. Yeah, we talk about it's all about relationships and connecting with the guest and the loss of that connection over time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I talked to John Harms a lot, and he was talking about retention rates and the fact that after 6 visits, your retention rate's like 10%, 8%.
Why is that?
And it's because of the relationship. You get comfortable.
Or we get so comfortable in our relationships, we take them for granted.
Right.
Or we have too many guests in our base that we can't give them their due attention.
Which is something that we just talked about.
Right.
Pre-camera on, which is something in my salon right now that we have too many guests and not enough room. We're not fitting them in correctly. And you said to stop taking new guests.
Well, here's what happens. You've got to manage the traffic because you have to understand what capacity is in your business. Capacity. Right. When are we at capacity? And because we have availability on our schedules, like there's a 10 o'clock available, there's an 11 o'clock, there's a 2:30, we think we're not at capacity. Right. Yet, we have enough guests to be at complete capacity should they be scheduled properly. Looking at that rescheduling percentage, making sure we're managing the traffic and knowing when our guests are falling away from us. It's almost like I said earlier, it's like putting a square peg and asking it to fit in a round hole. It can't.
Right.
You have to know that what are your limitations and capacity. When we call a hotel and they say the hotel is fully committed tonight, it's because every room is being used.
Right.
When we say a salon is fully committed, it means every hairdresser has enough guests that they should be completely full.
Right.
If they're not, the hairdresser's the problem. They're not scheduling properly.
Exactly. So how do you explain that to a hairdresser that maybe has enough guests, but they're not booking properly?
I think we're afraid to ask people for their future business.
Right.
It's still really much a confidence issue. It's a confidence in saying, if you're not scheduling, I'm going to take that personally. If you're not scheduling, I must have done something wrong. No, it just means that you have to be in charge of the business relationship with that customer.
Right.
That's all it means.
Yeah.
We don't take that personally. We do our job. A customer should never have to speed us up.
Right.
Like saying, Matt, all right already. No. It's okay. I'd rather them do that than say, Matt, you never told me.
Yep.
Matt, you didn't say I needed this product. Matt, you never said that I needed to be in here every 6 weeks for a haircut or my hair would fall apart.
Right.
Matt, you never said what the requirements are when you become chemically dependent. They should never have to ask us for the information that we deserve as their customer.
Right.
Right?
Yep. True. And you have, so just to kind of let everyone know. So are you speaking at, I know you're speaking tomorrow.
Right.
At the, it's the PBA Beacon, right?
Right.
Which is for students.
For the young hairdressers that earned it. I believe there's 500 that earn their way here.
Yeah, it's so cool to see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And to know that they're going to have that time with Stephanie Kachowski. And my job tomorrow is to have Stephanie bring out her journey to them.
Right.
So they can see what's possible. Everyone wants success, but they don't want to honor the process. If Stephanie said I had to do this and this and this to get here, people are going to go, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Then you don't want where she's at today either.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a process of success. You have one, I have one, Robert has one, my husband has one, and there's many people that say, I don't want to do the fight like that.
Right.
Okay, you just made a decision then.
Yeah.
Right?
Like people that ask, how do you find the time to do it, are the people that I automatically right away, like you wouldn't be asking that question necessarily if I feel like if you're the type of person that's willing to work for it.
Oh gosh, yes.
You know?
I mean, if you walk up to someone and say, how did you get a body like that? And they say, well, I'm in the gym 6 hours a day. Well, I just disqualified myself from having a body like that.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
I don't have
Yeah.
6 hours to give. And I envy them that get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
to go to the gym. God bless them.
Yeah.
That's not Terri Cowan.
Right.
However, my policies for me and my disciplines and my processes are ones that we chose as a family to get where we are today.
Yep.
So what are those going to be for you?
Right. So what would you say, I know that you agreed to sit down, which I really appreciate. I know that you have dinner
Oh, I was
reservations.
honored.
So tell me, what do you want to put out there for people? You have also schools.
We have
So
we have 3 schools.
We do have a lot of young people that watch this channel and also subscribe to American Salon. So where are your schools located?
We have one in Chicago on the
Okay.
UIC campus,
Which
and
is
then
my
we have
favorite place in the world.
we have one in Lombard.
Yes.
And both of those are great properties.
Okay.
And our first one is we bought a small boutique school in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan in Escanaba, and that's a delightful smaller property that can house around 50 future professionals at a time, where the
Okay.
other one's capacity is probably 250 to 275 comfortably.
Okay. Great. So, and that's, how do they find that information? Like if they want to look up the school or...
Well, they can just look up John Paul Mitchell Systems,
Okay.
and you can look at Paul Mitchell,
Paul
the
Mitchell,
schools.
the school, and then just search
Just
it.
search it. And we
Awesome.
also have our distributorship.
Okay.
We are honored to be a distributor for the states of Illinois and Indiana.
Okay. And seriously, if they want to pick up one of your CDs, can they still do that?
Oh my gosh,
Is
yes.
that possible?
www.professionalsalonconcepts.com.
Okay. And honestly, it's like, if you were thinking about, you don't even need to have a salon because you even have a stylist version, right?
Yeah, stylist version and
So-
owner's version.
So definitely get that CD because you will not regret any of that. And that's pretty much it.
I want to
Anything
talk
else?
about some books I'm reading right now.
Okay, please.
Suggested reads. Okay.
Awesome.
First of all, for the owners that are listening today, I would recommend for you to pick up Michael Gerber's book, The Entrepreneurial Myth.
Okay.
You should read that at least once a year. Go in, reread. I still read it every
Okay.
year, at least once a year. And he talks about the fact that when people start businesses, it's usually a technician that's starting a business, not a manager, not an entrepreneur.
Right.
Usually the best technician. The best plumber says, hey, you know what? I'm the best plumber here.
Right.
I'm going to start my own plumbing business. Hairdresser. I'm the best hairdresser in here. I'm going to start my own salon.
Yeah.
Not realizing that the two other things that have to be in place is the entrepreneur, the visionary of what do I want this business to look like? How do I
Right.
want it to run? What do I want it to do? And the manager that puts the ideas and the systems in place of the entrepreneur so the technician can do the job with ease.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And so many times, hairdressers will stay in the technician role and forget about these two.
Yeah.
And that's when we start to crash and burn a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
I also picked up some new books this year that become my favorites.
Okay.
I've read Grit, G-R-I-T.
That's a good one.
And True Grit is about who's got the grit.
Yep.
Just the grit, the gruttiest, dirtiest grit to stay in there and fight the good fight to be successful.
Okay.
What are you willing to do to have it all? What are you willing to do? And I've also picked up No Excuses, which is a great book,
Okay.
and also Presence. Presence is a book that's all about, do you have the presence to honor what you're doing? When you walk in a room, do you know your responsibility when you're a hairdresser? Do you know your responsibility when you walk into the supermarket to greet the people in the community, because you want to be known? That's the great gal over there that loves her customers, loves what she does, who she does it for and who she does it with. To have presence, you have to put your voice out there and have a noise footprint. And we can't do it on a screen.
Right.
We can't say, hi, I love what I do. You have to ooze that out of you.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's great. I'm going to link all those books.
Do it.
I'll do it in the description so people can easily get them.
They're wonderful.
And that's great. That's definitely great.
My nephew right now is, I always talk about him, my sister's son, and he's 16.
Okay.
He's a heck of an athlete.
All right.
Heck of an athlete. He has an opportunity to play Division I ball if he manages his distractions. Okay, so what could a 16-year-old's distractions be? Could be girls.
Right.
Could be drugs. It could be steroids, someone coming up to him and saying, hey, you want to hit the ball farther? Try this.
Right.
It could be his grades. It could be not sleeping because he's playing video games. It could be his attitude of not understanding what his responsibilities are as a ball player. I could go on and on.
Right.
Right? And in all cases, Cole's still a very young man. In many cases, I tell him this. I said, Cole, you're still a dork. At 16, you're still a dork. We all know at 16, we thought this thing life we figured out, but we didn't know anything about it, right?
Right.
And I love him so much, and it's our job to direct him, to say, not like that, like this.
Yeah.
This is in the way, and this is what you need to do. You're a great athlete. Don't let the distractions screw this up for you.
Right.
Same conversation can be had with a hairdresser.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Wrong boyfriend, wrong girlfriend, wrong extracurricular activities, not wanting to go to educational events, not wanting to learn beyond the first level, not surrounding themselves with the right people while they're working every day, being more committed to their phone than they are to being on the floor versus downtime, staying out of that back room. Those are all distractions.
Yeah.
And when we realize when we're not good to ourselves to get what the golden brass ring is, then we have to make shifts and adjustments.
Right.
They also have to work with someone that will bring out the greatness in them, not one that will just be their cheerleader. A cheerleader is great, but a coach will direct you over and over again. And that's our responsibility. You know, the older I get, I feel like, gosh, are Steve and I running out of time? Are we running out of time to make a difference? My voice is probably more curt. I'm probably not going to be as soft approached.
Right.
Because I have such a desire to make it better for people.
Right.
And usually the only thing that's in the way is themselves. I'm sure as an owner you've witnessed that.
Yeah, definitely. Right? Yeah. Huh. I could literally talk to you all day.
I could
so
talk
I
to you all day.
appreciate it. I know.
We can do this again.
That's what I like about it. We have to do it again.
I would love it.
Next time I'm in Chicago, because my family, I grew up near Chicago, and next time I'm in Chicago, I have to come see you guys for
Let's do it.
All right. Sounds good. Terri, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, man.
Thank you to American Salon for letting us sit down and start this conversation. And all of you guys go get those books and go to, what's the website? PSC?
www.professionalsalonconcepts.com.
And pick up the CDs. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
Thank you. Bye-bye.